The wedding that wasn't normal, the wedding hall, was unlike anything Ryan had ever seen. It wasn't inside a church or under a human sky. It was in the great crystal dome of Soraya's homeworld, where the sky shimmered with 3 suns and a slow-moving ring of silver dust. Humans sat nervously on one side, dressed in black suits and simple dresses. On the other side, tall Lysari aliens stood with graceful posture, their skin faintly glowing under the dome light. Every move they made was calm and measured, as if they were born for moments like this. Ryan adjusted the collar of his jacket. He could feel dozens of eyes watching him, studying him. Some eyes were curious, others not so friendly. Soraya, his bride, stood across from him. She was beautiful in a way that was hard to explain to humans. Her skin had a soft violet sheen, her hair shimmered silver, and her golden eyes seemed to see straight into him. She didn't look nervous. In fact, she stood as if nothing in the world could shake her. The ceremony began. A Lysari elder spoke in their flowing language, the words sounding like music. Ryan didn't understand most of it, but Soraya had told him it was the blessing of unity, a rare event between different species. Rare enough that some in the hall probably thought it was wrong. He kept glancing at her face, trying to read her expression. She gave him a small, knowing smile. It wasn't a smile of joy or shyness. It was a smile that said, "I'm planning something, and you don't know what it is yet." When the elder signaled them to join hands, Ryan felt her fingers slender, warm, almost humming with energy. A faint golden light appeared where their skin touched. The crowd murmured. This was part of the Lysari bonding tradition, proof that the match was real. The ceremony ended with polite applause from the human side and a soft, echoing sound from the Lysari's side-like wind through glass. Guests began to leave in small groups, still whispering. Ryan caught fragments of words strange, unheard of human risk dot as the hall emptied. Soraya leaned close to him. Her voice was low, almost secret. "Tonight we speak privately," she said. "There is something important I need you to do for me." Ryan blinked. What kind of important? Her golden eyes locked on his. Something only a human male can do. He opened his mouth to ask more, but she stepped back, her expression unreadable. She turned to greet an older Lysari woman, leaving him with the echo of her words in his head. That night, the city outside their new home glowed with soft blue lights. The streets were quiet, the air filled with the faint hum of energy lines that powered the entire district. Ryan walked through the main chamber of the house, a wide space filled with alien art and delicate glass furniture. Everything here looked fragile, as if it might break if he touched it too hard. Soraya was sitting by the window, looking out over the city. Her hair caught the starlight, turning it into silver fire. "You've been quiet," he said. She didn't turn her head. "I have been thinking how best to ask you." Ryan sat across from her. "Ask me what?" She finally turned to face him. "It is about my younger sister, Lyra." Ryan waited, confused. "Your sister?" Soraya's voice stayed calm, but there was a faint urgency in her tone. "In our culture, before a Lysari female chooses her mate, she must understand the ways of others. Lyra will soon travel to human space, but she has never met a human male, not closely." Ryan frowned. "You want me to, what? Talk to her?" Soraya shook her head slowly. "Not only talk. I want you to teach her. Show her how humans speak, how they move, how they connect." The way she said connect made Ryan's pulse quicken. "That's unusual. You're asking me to spend time with her sister, teaching her how to deal with human men?" "Yes," Soraya said simply. "I trust you, and I trust her. She needs this. Without it, she will be vulnerable. Our people do not think like humans. They do not look into eyes the same way. They do not read small signs in the face. She must learn this, or she will be unprepared. Ryan leaned back, trying to process her words. Part of him thought it was innocent a cultural exchange. Another part felt the weight of the request. If this was discovered, what would the other Lysari think? Why me? He finally asked. Soraya's lips curved slightly. Because you are my husband. And because you are human enough to do it right. Outside, one of the 3 suns dipped below the horizon, and the city's lights shifted from blue to gold. Ryan looked out the window for a moment, wondering just what he had agreed to by marrying her. And why, deep down, he had the strange feeling that her request was going to change everything. Asterisk the request. The next morning, Ryan woke to the faint sound of rain hitting the crystal dome above their home. The Lysari called it sky water, and it was rare here. Each drop made a soft, musical sound as it slid down the glass. Soraya was already awake. She stood near the long table, sipping a pale blue drink that shimmered in the light. Her posture was perfect, her eyes fixed on the city skyline. Ryan rubbed his eyes. You didn't sleep much. I was thinking, she said, not turning around, about how to make you understand the importance of what I am asking. Ryan sat up straighter. You mean the thing about your sister? Soraya finally turned, walking toward him in slow, graceful steps. Yes, Lyra. She is younger, but she will soon have to deal with outsiders. Humans, traitors, soldiers, men who will not always have good intentions. Ryan nodded. I get it. You want me to help her so she's not caught off guard. But Soraya didn't nod. She came closer, lowering her voice. No, Ryan, it is more than that. I want you to make her see you the way I do, to feel what I feel when you are near me. Only then will she understand how to deal with humans. Ryan blinked. That sounds intense. It must be, Soraya replied without hesitation. The lessons must be real, or they will be worthless. He thought for a moment. Won't people talk if they see me spending time with her? Soraya's golden eyes didn't waver. They will talk no matter what. But I will tell them it is my wish. And in our culture, a wife's first request is sacred. Ryan leaned back in his chair. The words first request rang in his mind. He had no idea what else she might ask of him in the future. Then Soraya added something that made his pulse race. You must begin today. Lyra is waiting in the lower garden. He stared at her. You mean right now? Yes, she said softly. She has been told who you are, and what you will do. Ryan felt a strange mix of curiosity and unease. The wedding had already been the strangest day of his life. But meeting his new sister-in-law under these circumstances might be even stranger. Asterisk. Meeting Lyra, the lower garden was like stepping into another world. The air was warmer here, filled with the sweet smell of glowing flowers. Tiny silver-winged insects drifted between the petals, their wings making faint ringing sounds. Ryan walked, slowly scanning the space. His boots crunched on a path of smooth black stones. In the center of the garden, a tall figure stood with her back to him. Her long silver hair fell past her shoulders, and she wore a pale green dress that shifted color when she moved. She turned at the sound of his steps. Her eyes gold like Soraya studied him without blinking. But where Soraya's gaze was, calm and confident, Lyra's was sharp and curious, as if she were trying to read every thought in his head. You are the human, she said simply. Ryan gave a small smile. And you must be Lyra. She tilted her head slightly. I was told you would teach me the ways of human males. Her voice was calm, but there was a strange weight behind the words. Ryan cleared his throat. It's more about helping you understand humans, so you can deal with them when you travel. Lyra stepped closer. And how will you do this? He hesitated. We can start simple. Talking. Eye contact. Maybe some common gestures. She narrowed her eyes. Eye contact? Like this? She moved even closer, locking her gaze with his. Her eyes didn't waver. The golden color caught the light, almost glowing. Ryan felt the air between them grow. Heavier. She was testing him. You don't look away, she said after a moment. That is different. Most Lysari males drop their eyes when I do this. That's because humans don't see eye contact as a challenge, he replied. We see it as connection. Lyra studied him a second longer, then stepped back. Interesting. They began walking slowly through the garden. Ryan pointed out human customs, how to offer a handshake, why humans sometimes touch a person's shoulder when speaking, the meaning of a smile. Lyra copied each gesture exactly, her movements graceful but deliberate. When he smiled at her, she smiled back, but it was different, slower, more calculated. It feels strange, she admitted. Like I am letting you see something N-O-R-M-L-O-Y hide. That's kind of the point, he said. The cultural lessons the next day. Ryan met Lyra again, this time in a smaller chamber at the edge of the garden. The walls were made of living vines, their leaves shifting colors slowly, like breathing. A low table stood between them, holding a tray of crystal cups and a bowl of fruit that glowed faintly in the dim light. Lyra sat across from him, her posture straight, her hands resting neatly in her lap. Saraya says I must learn not only what you do, but why you do it. Ryan nodded. That's harder. Humans don't always know why they do something. They just feel it. Then you must teach me to feel it, Lyra said. Ryan leaned forward. All right. In human culture, we often show trust through small touches. A hand on the shoulder, a pat on the back. It's our way of saying, I'm with you. She extended her arm without hesitation. Show me. He placed his hand gently on her shoulder. Her skin was warm, softer than he expected. She didn't flinch. She studied his face instead, watching for signs. What should I feel? She asked. You should feel that I'm here to protect you, not hurt you, he explained. It's not about force. It's about presence. Lyra was silent for a moment. Then, slowly, she placed her hand on his shoulder in return. Does this make you trust me? Ryan gave a small smile. A little. Her gaze stayed locked on his. Then I will keep trying. They moved on to other lessons, human greetings, expressions, even how to stand in a way that made you look confident. Lyra copied everything perfectly, but she was quick to point out the differences between them. When you smile, she said, your eyes change shape. When I smile, mine do not. Does that make my smile weaker? Not weaker, Ryan replied. Just different. But to humans, smiles that reach the eyes feel more real. She practiced until even her golden eyes seemed to warm. Asterisk. The confrontation in the lesson room felt different that day. The air was heavier, as if the vines around the walls were holding their breath. Ryan arrived early, but Lyra was already there, standing in the center of the room, her hands clasped. Behind her back, her golden eyes sharp. They're coming, she said without greeting. Ryan frowned. Who? She didn't answer. She simply looked toward the entrance. A moment later, the door slid open with a hiss, and 3 Lysari males entered. They were taller than Ryan, with ceremonial armor that gleamed under the pale light. The one in front carried a long staff with a blade at one end. You, the leader said, pointing the staff at Ryan, will leave this house at once. You have crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. Ryan stood slowly, his heart pounding. I haven't done anything wrong. You have touched a Lysari maiden without consent of the council, the leader said, his voice cold. Lyra stepped forward. He had my consent. The leader's eyes narrowed. That does not matter. The council has not approved. Ryan glanced at her. What's going on? I thought you said, I did, she interrupted. And I meant it. But they want to end the lessons because they fear what I am learning. The second Lysari male stepped forward. You will come with us, human. Quietly. Ryan clenched his fists, but before he could speak, Lyra moved between him and the guards. If you take him, she said, her voice rising, you will prove exactly why I need him here. You fear him not because he is dangerous, but because he makes me stronger. Her words seemed to hang in the air. Even the guards hesitated. The decision. The council chamber was a vast circle of white stone and shimmering light. 12 Lysari elders sat in high seats carved from crystal, their robes flowing like liquid silver. The air was cold, silent except for the faint hum of the energy shields around the room. Ryan stood in the center beside Saraya. Lyra stood to his other side, her back straight, her chin high. She looked nothing like the shy girl from their first meeting. The eldest counselor spoke first. Human, you are brought here under suspicion of corrupting a Lysari maiden. Do you deny this? Ryan started to speak, but Lyra stepped forward. He did not corrupt me. He strengthened me. A low murmur spread across the chamber. The eldest counselor's golden eyes narrowed. And how did he do this? Lyra looked straight at them, holding their gaze, just as Ryan had taught her. By teaching me how humans stand without fear, how they look into the eyes of those who would judge them, how they protect the ones beside them, even when surrounded. She took a step closer to the elders. These are things our people have forgotten. We hide behind titles and rules. But I have learned something better: presence. The eldest counselor leaned back. Presence does not win battles. No, Lyra said. But it wins moments. And moments decide everything. Suspense beat. Without warning, Lyra turned to Ryan and extended her hand. Stand with me? He hesitated only a second before taking it. She faced the council again. If you cast him out, I will go with him. And when I return, I will bring others who think as I do. Then you will have to decide whether you fear strength or whether you wish to share it. The chamber went utterly still. The elders exchanged glances. Finally, the eldest counselor spoke. Then let the lessons continue. As they left the chamber, Saraya walked beside Ryan, her voice low. I told you my first request was sacred. Lyra glanced back at him, a faint smile on her lips. Lesson complete? But I think I need advanced training. Ryan's heart skipped a beat. He couldn't tell if she was joking or promising something far more complicated, and somewhere deep inside he knew this was only the beginning. Asterisk.